The year was 1995. Bill Clinton was in his first term as President of the United States. Apollo 13 and Braveheart were two of the top movies that year, and it was the last year that the Utah State Amateur Championship was held in Logan. Where's Wesley? At the Logan Country Club with 1995 State Am champion, Jason Wight. Jason, let's go play.
Let's do it.
Jason, what do you remember about that win in 1995? What stands out for you?
I think for me it was kind of fulfilling expectations. I came into the tournament kind of as a favorite. I made it to the semifinals the year before. I grew up in Brigham City. My parents had a membership here in Logan and had a pretty good track record here, and we kind of meeting it, living up to that expectation as the favorite and coming through was pretty special.
How much pressure did that put on you that people expected you to win up here?
A lot, and it but it also gave me a lot of support. I had family here. I had my nephew caddying for me, and to get into match play and you've got 50, 60, 100 people following you and they're mostly on your side, it helps.
At that time, I think the 2 years previous, Utah State golfers had won.
Yep.
You're Utah State golfer playing up here on what is ostensibly your home course. That had to be good, right?
It was great. Yeah, it was Brett Wayman and Jeremy Montgomery had won the prior 2 years, and third year it was time for another Aggie to win, and so
you just
got to be able to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Spin.
You don't want to fix divots, you clip them.
There you go. What was the best part of your game back then?
Putting, probably.
Really?
Yeah, that week I had I putted really well, and then I had a 1-iron that just fit. Yeah, the kids, they had this thing that was called a 1-iron, but there were about 3 holes out here where it was just perfect, especially 14. 14, there's a little downslope. I landed on the downslope every time and had 5-iron to 8-iron in.
Nice. Putt, Jason.
Thanks.
So it's easy to say greens and fairways, but what was your strategy that year? What did you try to do?
A lot of it was course management here, because it's the only defenses on the golf course were the small, fast greens. So it's really, figuring out where to play and how to play the golf course and what clubs to hit off the tee and where you want to come in from. Because you had to have good yardages in because the greens were so hard and fast, and it's such a short course that you can drive it as far as you want, but
and you hit it long back then, right?
I hit it pretty far back then, especially my irons were for some reason really strong, but yeah, I think for that week the biggest thing was course management.
How old were you when you won that?
22.
So, and you played in the State Am many times, as you said. You finished in the semifinals the year before.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, obviously something to look forward to, the State Am each and every year, but to have it here on a course that you grew up on, that had to be great.
It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, it was really, really neat. Ogden, I played a lot the year before. I grew up, playing a lot of tournaments there, but up here at the country club, I won junior tournaments here. I played high school tournaments here, and then in college, this is where we qualified. So it was really special.
This is probably a 2-part question, but the course has changed. They redid it 23, 24. What do you think of the changes, and what were your favorite holes back then?
So the changes, it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. The fairways are a lot narrower. There's a lot more bunkers. There's a lot fewer trees. A couple green complexes have changed, so it really is a different golf course. And if you look way off the fairway, they've got British Open rough out here, so anybody's wild, they're gonna have a tough time. Yeah, I think back then, my favorite hole was 14. 14 is where I won it. In match play, I won I think all but one match. So that's when I had the trophy ceremony. That's where everybody was.
Turnover.
Looking good. Good shot. My hamstrings aren't going to let me make divots today.
You beat some pretty good players in match play that year. Doug Bybee, former 2-time winner. Yeah. John Wright, who ended up being a 2-time winner, and beat John Taggy in the championship final. That's some pretty tough competition.
Yeah, and they had 2 other college players. I had Matt Lyons, who was playing for Weber State, and then Steve Day, who was a freshman on our Aggie team. So, yeah, the Doug Bybee match was really tough and really special because we're both from Brigham City. And so there's a little bit of, I've known Doug forever. So that was probably the hardest match. But I had a huge advantage that week because our sports psychologist from Utah State, Dr. Richard Gordon, was up here. And after every match, we had a little chat. And back then, I needed a little guidance mentally.
I was going to ask you about that because Dr. Gordon worked with Mike Weir for a long, long time.
He did, yep.
And I read that you would, after each match, you'd stop and chat with him. What kind of things you go over?
Well, after our first match, playing a teammate, I was playing match play and not playing golf. And I won one up on the last hole. He hit it underneath the tree off his drive, and Dr. Gordon came up and said, "What are you doing? Like, stop with the gamesmanship. Stop trying to act like it's anything other than golf. Just go out and play."
That's what grand advice.
It's great advice, but match play people, you don't do it that often, and you get kind of amped up for it, and there's a lot of gamesmanship. You watch the Ryder Cup and everything that happens, but yeah, I was a little bit too much into that.
What kind of advice did he give you, like, before the championship match?
He it just basically continue to do what you're doing and stay within the moment. Don't get ahead of yourself. Keep going with the good course management and whatever happens, just kind of try to stay level. And that was the biggest thing. I had my nephew on board, and his one directive was, when I get really mad, have me count to 10, because I had a little bit of a temper back then. So
didn't we all?
Yes. Look at that shot.
Did you see this?
Wait, let's make sure.
You see that? We haven't. That ball's been sitting there. We didn't go move it. That's been sitting there, just waiting for me to miss the putt. I could.
Great birdie.
Yay me. I know we talked about the changes. And they're good changes, obviously. And I think people are going to come up here and struggle a little bit with some of these holes. But that's your memory. I mean, the old course was what you grew up on, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Of the two, which do you prefer?
I don't like change. I don't like new movies. I watch old movies. I like old music. So I like the old course, just because I have so many great memories of it. Stay. Man.
That putt you just hit, obviously this way. Any keys to the green? I mean, is it like everything goes hard off this mountain?
Everything goes hard,
valley?
left to right on the screen. Yep.
I mean, like the whole course? Is it all?
Most of it, yeah.
Kind of subtle this way?
Yep. Obviously, the water's going to drain away from from the mountain. But yeah, you get a couple of these par threes, a couple of these greens. This one, 5, there's so much tilt to them that it's going to be pretty rough.
That's good.
Oh, conceded. I'll take it. What I say? Oh, that thing just whips, doesn't
Dang
it?
it.
Oh,
Ooh,
maintains the lead.
So par 3, hole number 4?
It's down to hole number 4.
Used to be 13.
13. And they used to have cedars all along this side, and the wind would kind of circle in here, so whatever you felt on the tee was usually opposite. And it was, in my match, John Taggy was up, and it felt downwind, and he grabbed 7-iron. I looked at my nephew, said if he hits it well, it's over, because the pin was lower. He hit it up on top. There's no way he could 2-putt. And I won this hole, and then 14 to close it out. But it's kind of, that was part of the, the home course advantage that helped me a lot.
So here we are at the start of the goat holes, as they are called. And this is where you won a bunch of your matches, including the championship.
Yep.
Tough little dogleg left, slope. And you would hit 1-iron off the tee from back there?
Hit 1-iron off the tee back there, and would hit the little down slope, go around the corner, and I never had more than a 5-iron in on my second shot. And in one of the matches, I was really pumped and had 8-iron in.
Is this par 5?
Par 5.
You're hitting irons in?
Hitting irons in. That was a fun memory. But yeah, it's such a tough hole. You have to have knowledge on where to be. The green is incredibly difficult. It slopes right to left and then back to front. Then on the back side it slopes off. It's really about position here.
I mean, the goat holes were back then, when I heard about Logan Country Club, that was the signature holes, right?
Yep, 14, 15, 16.
That's what everybody talked about.
Yep, that was what everybody geared up for. Yeah. Oh, that's so perfect. You're going to hit that down slope.
Wait, say that again.
So perfect.
I never hear that.
Look at that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Little draw right around the corner. Just what the coach.
That's not as far as I thought it was.
Just what the coach drew up.
Beauty.
Yeah. I got the fat moving in the right direction on that one.
That's way gooder than mine.
That's where the 1-irons would go, right?
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
From back there?
From back there.
Wow. Talked about being up here with family, on the course, all the pressure. What did you do to deal with the pressure? I mean, were you so nervous you couldn't eat? What tunes did you listen to? What did you do?
Yeah, I had trouble eating, but you know, it was really a product of working with Dr. Gordon and working on, you know, going from external focus to narrow focus, and just making sure that I didn't get ahead of myself. I think the year before I got a little bit ahead of myself because I had a lead coming up the last couple holes in the semifinals, and you start thinking, you know, what if?
Yeah.
But no, I was able to pretty much stay in the moment with every shot, and you know, Dr. Gordon's help, he helped a lot of really good golf professionals with Mike Weir, and his father was a college golf coach, so having his expertise was key.
So Dr. Gordon helped, and also Freddie Mercury?
Freddie Mercury. So on the drive up, I'd always listen to One Vision.
By Queen.
Yeah, by Queen. The song from Iron Eagle.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. My poor nephew had to put up with that every day driving up, I'm sure. He's
awesome.
still scarred.
So put yourself in a sports psychologist's shoes, Dr. Gordon's shoes.
Yeah.
You're working with one of the players playing this year. What do you tell them? What advice do you give the golfers playing in the State Am in 2025?
Probably the same thing that he told me. Just stay in the moment. Just take every shot as it comes. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get, match plays, not, a format that we play a lot. So don't get overwhelmed by little nuances of match play. Just play golf. It's, Carl Tucker had a saying back in the day, it was just go play. And that's what it is. It's just golf.
Awesome. Dude, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Good to see you
Appreciate you doing this. Yeah.
1995, that was a few years ago.
A little bit. Yeah.
Champion.